Hey everyone, Kristen here. As you know, I believe homemade is best, but it doesn't need to be complicated. And today I'm going to share with you an easy, healthy recipe for white bean and kale soup. You guys, this soup is so good for you, but yet it tastes absolutely incredible. In fact, I made it for myself to eat on throughout the week for lunches, and my husband found it and he was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. If this is what healthy tastes like, he's like, I could eat like this every day. So good, so simple, you're gonna love it, so let's get cooking. To get started with this soup, hit saute on the Instant Pot. Add in 1 tablespoon of olive oil and let that heat. Once heated, we're adding in 1 small yellow onion that's been minced, 2 carrots that have been peeled and diced, and 2 stalks of celery that have been diced. This is the building base for really great flavor in soups. I'm also adding in my herbs now just to toast and develop their flavor. I have 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Decrease those or increase those depending on how spicy you like your soup. Saute that until everything is nice and tender and your onions are becoming translucent. This will take 3 to 4 minutes. Stir it often. Once the onion is looking nice and softened, add in 2 cloves or about 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Saute that briefly, just about 60 seconds until your nose smells that garlic. You don't want to burn your garlic. And then you want to deglaze the inner pot while you're still using the saute function. I'm adding in 1/2 cup of dry Pinot Grigio today. You could use Chardonnay or you could use vegetable broth if you don't want to cook with alcohol. Scrape up any brown bits off the bottom of the inner pot and let that wine bubble up for just a minute or so. Hit cancel to turn off the saute function on your Instant Pot. And then for the liquid here, I'm adding in 6 cups of low sodium vegetable broth. You can use chicken broth if you're not vegetarian. Add in 2 15-ounce cans of Great Northern beans that have been rinsed and drained. I also have 3 normal size Yukon Gold potatoes. Not peeled, they've just been washed really well, cubed into about 1-inch chunks. I also have 3 cups of chopped kale, and that will soften up as the soup cooks. And then I also add in a bay leaf, which I totally forgot today. Either way, the soup will be delicious. Pop your lid on the Instant Pot. Make sure your venting knob is pointed towards sealed or your lid is locked. And then to set the cooking time, hit manual or pressure cook and use the plus or minus buttons to adjust until it reads 5. Okay, so my soup has pressure cooked. It only takes 5 minutes, but the most important part is that you want to let pressure release on its own for at least 15 minutes. Because our Instant Pot is so full here, I find that if I did a full natural pressure release, it would take 20 to 25 minutes, which is totally fine. But you definitely want to wait 15 minutes and then you can knock your sealing knob to the venting position. Just be sure to stand back because that hot liquid will spew out a little bit, and make sure to do it in a big open space. You want to open up your Instant Pot. Smells so good. I'm just gonna give it a stir here. That's it, it's done. And those potatoes you can see are soft and tender. The kale is nice and softened. If you wanted to use spinach instead of the kale, I would suggest waiting to stir the spinach in until after it pressure cooks, or it will wilt beyond belief. All right, but kale's a lot more sturdy. So I'm gonna dish this up here. Oh, I can't wait to dig in. This has seriously become one of my favorite soups, and it's so easy to make. It's so affordable. I mean, potatoes, beans, kale. You could, skip the line and make it super cheap too. It's delicious on a cold fall or winter night. You can top it with some Parmesan or just leave it as is to keep it completely dairy-free and vegan-friendly. Going for a bite. It's pretty hot. The beans are they still have some texture since we only cooked it for 5 minutes. The soup is rich. The broth has so much flavor for such few ingredients. And those potatoes and kale are so tender. You guys, this is so incredibly delicious. I absolutely love it. I hope you give it a try. And for another easy, delicious soup featuring kale, be sure to check out my next recipe where I share with you how to make Instant Pot zuppa toscana. Until next time, happy cooking.